Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Carlos Navarro about Hawkeye, streaming now on Disney+. He is a member, of course, of the Tracksuit Mafia. Welcome to the show, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Petey. How we doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. As you can see, I did dress up for the occasion.
I love it. I feel bad that I didn't. This is just kind of my, casual.
Well, I didn't really tell you, but as soon as we, confirm this interview, I'm like, I gotta put it on. I have to.
You gotta put the drip on. I like it, man.
So,
Good seeing you.
Craziness is an understatement of what you're dealing with the last couple of weeks. I mean, how's it been on your end?
Man, overwhelmingly good, but overwhelming. Surprises. They not like Marvel tells you everything they're doing. Every actor gets bits and pieces unless you're Jeremy or Haley, and so every little piece that happens when they release it on the Avengers website, a poster of us, or or multiple trailers. As an actor, as a fan, a diehard fan of Marvel.
Yep.
I'm like tripping, man. I'm tripping. It's crazy.
But it's interesting too because the combination of, like I said, you're a diehard fan of Marvel, so you know what to expect in that regard. You have worked on The Walking Dead, so you are familiar with like crazy fandom because of that as well. But this is at like another level. One can make an argument with the Marvel stuff.
It is. It's funny you say that, Petey, because that's what a lot of people have been saying. I was blessed to do 2 seasons of Walking Dead, be part of the kingdom, be part of right after the whole Negan thing. So I was at the peak of Walking Dead time, which that was insane.
Yeah.
And I had a great part and I had fun, but this is a bigger part, more integral. And so it's even like this other level that it's gone up, and it's Marvel. So with Walking Dead, and I love them and they were awesome and they're great people. They were at this weird point. It was after Negan. Our episode was right after Negan.
Yeah.
So we were like, when we got introduced, the cinematographer was like, guys, the show we just shot was brutal. And I was like, damn, are you kidding me? He's like, we might lose some viewers. I'm like, no, we're not getting on. And so when we got on, it was pretty damn cool. But it wasn't where Marvel is at now, which this new phase of the TV show and this new phase of incorporating everything. So it's just overwhelmingly cool and exciting. But fans are the best, man. You guys are the best, man.
It's amazing. And, it's funny how we live kind of in a society now with social media where there's different kind of tiers, Carlos, in terms of like how things kind of get out there. So there's like the announcement that Marvel's making all these shows, right? And then there's like logos of Hawkeye, and then the cast announcements, right? And then trailers. But now it's finally here. It's crazy to me, right?
Yes. It's a year in the process. This time last year, I was in New York, and they flew us out there on a private plane, no script, not knowing what the hell I was going to be doing, and just getting on this plane and then walking like, oh, there's that actor. Oh, there's this actor, and flying into a city that was dead essentially, and luckily. They're so good at what they do, little pieces here and there, that when I realized what it was, I was like, oh my God. Because this is pre-WandaVision. This is that we didn't know what an MCU show was other than the Netflix ones, but we knew the Feige productions were going to be different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm curious to know because it depends. Different kind of people have different kind of situations with this, but obviously, people were talking about a lot of things about Hawkeye. There's a fight scene that you're kind of in, your character's in it in a Hawkeye. When you auditioned to be part of the Tracksuit Mafia or anything, did you know what to expect in terms of that there could be kind of obviously a lot of action? I'm just curious. Did you know about the fight scenes?
That's a good question because no, I didn't know straight up, but there was action in the audition. So I'll tell you what the audition was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Funny. Yeah, the audition was the Imagine Dragons scene.
Wow.
Okay. So the cool thing was that when we got there, when I met with Piotr, when I met with Alex, who are my bros, you know.
Alex Ponovic, guest of the show as well.
Yes, that's right. Who is honestly, I say bro, but he's like a brother. We're like, you know, imagine going through all this and like, you know, being excited. Anyway, it's I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was the question again?
It was the Imagine Dragons was the audition.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Imagine Dragons. So I go, dude, what was your audition? He goes, Imagine Dragons. And he said, and then I asked Piotr, Imagine Dragons. The front end of it though wasn't what they missed with it a little bit. So the initial thing was like supposed to be like, and I couldn't understand it. I'm a Marvel fan, but it said like Margarita Black. That was the name. I think it was like instead of Kate Bishop, it was Margarita Black. So it was like, are you Margarita Black? And I was like, and I called my buddy who's a diehard. I was like, yo, is Margarita Black in a Marvel? He's like, I've never heard of that. And then you fight in the beginning of it. Yeah. So they wanted to see if you could throw. Alex is a professional boxer. I'm in combat sports, and Piotr also knows how to fight. And we were down for whatever. The stunt team is the best in the world, but we were in there, man. That's why I think the scenes look so good.
It's amazing. Like I said, I interviewed Alex on my show. He's one of those guests, though, that is one of the hardest to do an interview with. Because obviously, when you do an interview, like we were talking about a specific movie, but he's worked on so many amazing projects. Like it's hard to like. It was hard to like pack everything in there. You know what I mean?
He is. He's one of those dudes that when I got on the plane. And I sat down, he had a hat on and everything, and I didn't know who he was. I was just like sitting there. And then the first time I really met him was walking outside of our hotel, which we weren't supposed to. We weren't supposed to leave our hotels. Don't tell anybody, Petey, okay? And then I turned the corner, I'm like, and we hadn't met each other. And I was like, hey, man. And he was leaving. I was kind of coming, and he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, are you Ivan? And I was like, yeah, I'm Enrique. He's like, oh, we hugged. It was like immediate. And then I was like, dude, I've seen you in this. I've seen you in this. I've seen you in that.
Man, it's like crazy. Like it was funny. Like he was like the Snowpiercer show was amazing with him, and like Van Helsing. Like it's so many amazing things. You guys are amazing as the Tracksuit Mafia.
Thank you, man.
I'm excited. I get to wear this. By the way, this is a cool moment for me. Okay.
I love it.
It's interesting too because content is becoming so kind of global these days, and it's very quick. Like, were you like surprised how quick all the gifs and the memes and everything happened? I mean, you expect it's going to be crazy because of kind of the reach of Marvel on the global scale, but how fast were you tagged in a lot of those gifs and memes?
Yeah, I was anticipating that because I saw it with Walking Dead, but we weren't where we were at with even now. That was 2017, and we're just like even light years ahead of, you know, everything now. It started to dribble in overnight, and then I'm watching my numbers, and I'm watching this. But I even texted the guys today. We stay in constant contact, me and the bros, and we're just like, what's going on with you? What's this? Have this person talked to you? And I said to him today, I was like, hey, man, are you getting overwhelmed now? He's like, it's insane. They've really latched on, and they, meaning the fans, they love the Tracksuit Mafia. It makes me so happy, you know.
TSM,
baby. And I get it, bro. The thing is, as Marvel fans, my daughter and I, who's 10 years old, had never watched any Marvel. I was shooting the Marvel show. We were watching Stranger Things, and she loves Stranger Things. And she's like, Daddy, do you think I'd like Marvel? I was like, I think you would, baby. I think you would. And we did the timeline deal all the way.
Amazing.
We finished Endgame on the night before the premiere of Hawkeye.
It's really funny, though. Like, people really like the Tracksuit Mafia.
I know. We're bad guys. We're bad guys. That's what I was going to tell you, Pete. It's like, I think because the world, obviously there's the timeline, there's the multiverse. But we've gotten to the point with Endgame where it's like we're fighting supernatural intergalactic aliens that can transfer reality, time, space, and souls. Let's bring it now. Kevin Feige and the geniuses at Marvel were like, let's bring it down to street level. Let's go back to the idiots that you got to get through in the first level of the video game. That's us. You know what I'm saying?
Were there any kind of scenes? Because some of the even like the scenes that you see you guys in, like it's not supposed to be funny. I'm sure there were some kind of laughs in between takes, like with you guys with some of those scenes.
Always. We didn't, there were so many. It was such a huge shoot, a massive production. And as a production guy, you're a production guy too. You marvel at it. See how I did that? And you go like, damn, And so you spend a lot of time not doing shit, to be honest. You're just kind of like chilling and okay, we got to shoot this. Okay. And then we spend time together and we're bullshitting. And then we take that energy. And whenever we got on set, it was like, bros are here, let's go. And everyone's like, bros are here. And we brought that energy. And every time we were running it and shooting, we were trying to make everybody laugh. Yeah. And we never really broke until we yelled cut. A couple times with Jeremy, the Molotov cocktail scene was kind of funny because we were really trying to hit him with it. We had the, and I was like, I'm getting your ass, Jeremy. And Jeremy is one of these dudes that's talented at everything. You shouldn't play piano and stuff. You seen him sing, like the guy can. So he's up there and he's like, I bet you I'll nail that thing. And it was a real, like he was up there. That wasn't a green screen with that scene where we're throwing the Molotov cocktails. That was actual. And the dude goes, boom, nails this like thing that was like, across the street. Just a talented guy, a lot of fun.
Man,
see my energy.
The first time I ever saw Jeremy Renner was in SWAT. That was the first time I seen it. But it's funny. I'm from Montreal originally. My buddy Jesse Camacho, friend of the show as well. He plays Doug Brazel, Lock and Key on Netflix. Oh, yeah. He did a movie when he was very young. I don't know how old he was, but he was younger, right? He was a kid. But he did a movie called 12 and Holding. And Jeremy Renner is in that. Oh. And I think it was like, I'm thinking this is like, Carlos, this is going way back, right? But I don't know if it was like, it might be before SWAT or the same time. But yeah.
I remember SWAT being his big one. That was like the one where you were like, hey, who's this Jeremy? And then Hurt Locker, I think, was after that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And, SWAT was the first. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty crazy there. I'm sure, you talk to some people that have worked on big movie sets and stuff, and I'm sure kind of it happens sometimes. It's intense, like the divas and everything. But I've done like so many interviews, man, and I've interviewed some people on some of the biggest shows on the planet and some kind of leads and everything. Do you think there's an overall kind of misconception kind of compared to what you kind of just said? I mean, like you're just guys, you're just people just making content and you're in the public eye a little bit more. Like, is that a misconception, the kind of like the diva component of things?
Great question, and yes. Yeah. That's like the number one thing I get asked. Hey, have you ever seen any divas on set before? And I've worked with a lot of amazing A-list stars, from the Jason Stathams to the Jeremy Renners to the Winona Ryders to Andrew Lincolns. Yeah. Honestly, Pete, what I found, the leads are the gentlemen's. The ladies of the lead that are leads are the ladies. Like they got to that position the same way I got there, which is fighting and clawing. Same thing you're doing with your show, really hustling. And then when you get to a point, Jason Bateman is another guy. I did a film called Identity Thief. I was an outsider with him.
Yeah, I remember that. You were the convenience store guy, right?
The car, man. You got to cut the card, okay? So that was Enrique before he got in the Tracksuit Mafia. But you know what? Honestly, I cannot think of a diva that I've ever met other than a director that was an actor that I worked on a show called Bloodline, which I work with Ben Mendelsohn, who is insane, but awesome. There's a difference between being like unruly and disobedient and not directable. And then there's like Ben Mendelsohn, who's this like, hey, Dodgy, he's got this crazy Australian accent. He's like, dude, over here. He's like, we're going to shoot this over here. We're going to go over here. And then, ready? Well, I was actually thinking that. Awesome. I haven't met that yet, Pete. I don't want to meet that person. Everybody who I've met and worked with, somebody wrote me this. It's good to see a real person make it. And I was like, that was cool. But I'm like, Alex is as real as it gets. Piotr is as real as it gets. But I know what they're saying.
But it's weird when you kind of grow up, and I'm sure you tell your kids this too. It's weird because like when I was a kid, right? I grew up in Canada, everything, right? The hockey players, it was like, oh my God, like you're not human. You know what I mean? Like you're. And as a kid, you have that kind of innocence and you have that kind of angle. When you grow up and like you start working in production and broadcast and go to the events, it's like
Don't meet
Way
your
different.
heroes.
Yeah.
Don't meet your heroes. Just like the episode. You know, my favorite people of all time who I've gotten to work with are Spielberg, Jack Black. That's who kind of like
School of Rock is my favorite movie of all time, by the way.
To me, Tenacious D is my favorite band. You know, so and they are just
Tribute. Sorry.
Tribute. And they're just good people, man. Of course, you know, it's a weird job. It's a very more blue collar job than people think. You really go in and you punch the clock and you wait and you do your job, and sometimes it's physical and sometimes it's not. But it's
yeah.
You know, so
it's funny you say that of the blue collar component, because I remember I interviewed Bob Clendenning a while ago, and he's like one of those guys. He's worked on so many amazing things, like Scrubs, Dude, Where's My Car, like so many things. And he said there's like a misconception that there's a lot of like, he calls themselves like middle class actors that just kind of like show up, do their thing, then they have to coach Little League on the weekends.
That's me, dude. That is so me. Like, you're right. Like, there is that misconception, because I look around and I'm like, I know Alex's life and he's doing all the same stuff as me. But Alex is actually more of a star, I'll be honest. So Alex is like on another level. Like, he's got a whole team. I got a team too, but he's got the PR, he's got this, he's got that. And Pyotr's kind of, they're definitely, for me, what I see, they're a level above me. And it's like these weird levels in the game of like where you kind of go up, and they're that level above, well deserved. And then the rest of the actors are just trying to work. You know,
but it's a grind, right? Like you kind of mentioned, it's just it's a nonstop grind, and it's amazing. And honestly, man, like I'm really happy for you, man. Seriously,
Thank you.
Like it's so freaking awesome to see. I nearly swore on my own show, which has never happened before.
Hey, bro, you're in Tracksuit Mafia.
Yeah,
you gotta be a little crazy, bro.
Man, I nearly cussed there. That was wild. Before we wrap up, people are gonna see Hawkeye on Disney Plus. What are you hoping they get out of it when they watch Hawkeye, man?
I hope, as a Marvel fan, that they feel fulfilled. And I know there are certain characters that they're waiting to see. I'm not a dummy. We know what some people are waiting to see in this New York world. I genuinely have no clue. I genuinely have no clue. People are asking me all the time, so what about Kingpin? What about this? I'm like, I don't know. Guys, I got my script. I didn't need to know other parts. I hope that they end this. I'll be honest. I hope they say it's the best Marvel show they've done yet.
Great. That's an amazing answer.
Against Loki. I loved WandaVision. WandaVision was amazing. Loki was great. Winter Soldier was great. But I want them to say, like, Hawkeye had it all. Had it all, you know?
Oh, absolutely. No, that's a great, great answer. Carlos, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
You are awesome, Pete, and I hope to do it again, soon. Dude,
anytime. So Hawkeye on Disney Plus. Where can people follow you on social media to keep update with everything?
Oh, absolutely. At To The Top Carlos, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I post comedy videos, motivational videos, and obviously like behind the scenes stuff as well of all the shows.
TSM, baby.
TSM for life, baby, bro. Thank you, bro.
This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Carlos Navarro as part of the Tracksuit Mafia in Hawkeye, streaming on Disney Plus. Until next time, this is Carlos and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.